Hello, it's Natha Campanella. I'm here with another one of my weekly astrological forecasts for the week of November 4th through the 10th. I like to use astrology as a tool for self-awareness. And if you were going to get a reading with me, we could look at any area of your life that's causing you distress. Maybe your family of origin is disapproving of the way that you're living your life. Maybe you wish that your job made you feel better or more excited or made you more money. Or maybe the same is true about your relationship. Maybe your relationship is really hard right now, or you're looking to end it, or you're really wanting to start a new relationship and you don't understand how to actually make that happen. An astrology reading is a really good way to get insight, concise insight that is really relevant to you. And those are the kind of questions that pop up in my private astrology readings with clients all the time. So if you have never had a reading, I recommend getting one. It'll open you up to so many new things about you and your life. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the week of November 4th through the 10th. And it should be a rather even keel week, which is nice. All of the planets are really making nice aspects to each other. They're getting along this week. And when the planets are getting along with each other, when they're making harmonious connections, it means that we down here collectively are able to make more harmonious connections of our own. So one of the things is that we're still in the middle of Mercury retrograde. So there is still a high sensitivity where our emotions could perhaps be running the show. We're also kind of getting an idea of what the themes of our own personal Mercury retrograde this time around is going to feel like. You know, who are the people that we need to speak to? What are the emotions that we have been burying that we haven't wanted to express or talk about? And how are they impacting us? And how are we going to process them and move through them? So, a word to the wise is that when you leave the dirty work of communication, of hard conversations to other people, you lose a lot of your power. And that is a potential because Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio. And sometimes with Scorpio stuff, we just don't want to talk about it. It's too stressful. But I will say that that is not actually going to help you do your Mercury retrograde work. So you might have to take a few deep breaths and really initiate the conversations that need to be had, and don't leave it to the other person to start the conversation or to intuit what you want to talk about, because that is also not doing the actual work at hand. So we have also had Venus move into the sign of Sagittarius, and we will be doing a slow progression into more Sagittarius energy over the next few weeks, which will feel like a relief. But in the meantime, know that all of this Mercury retrograde heaviness and this Scorpio heaviness that we've had for the last few weeks, it's not meant to drag us down and drown us. Really, it's meant to help us generate more passion and more excitement about our lives and actually feel better about what we're doing, as opposed to being stuck in negative emotions. So know that there's some of that too, is that it is important this week to establish bonds with people. And having these difficult conversations, really, believe it or not, is a great way to bond with people. And, really, respond to these things that pop up with a sense of passion, because that is going to be what's going to give you the momentum to kind of carry on and do some of the heavy lifting of the conversations, the confrontations, the assertiveness that you really need to get yourself through the Mercury retrograde. And remember, Mercury retrograde is about going back to clean up the way that we've been communicating with each other, and also to some extent looking at the way that we fill our time in order to avoid certain emotions or certain things, aka getting super busy and not dealing with what we need to deal with. So we also have some Neptune action this week. And so we have Saturn coming into connection with Neptune, and we also have the Sun coming into connection with Neptune. So know that simple contentment is a really beautiful way to calm down the nervous system. Anytime that things are feeling too intense or like a little bit too big, that you're going to have support this week to just kind of chill out a little bit, you know, go sit and drink a nice drink, get a coffee or a cup of tea or something and feel the way the sun feels on your skin. You know, just very simple little things are going to be helpful. Creativity is also really important. If you have an art form that has been calling to you, maybe you just want to sit and like look at pretty pictures or something like that. But know that really helpful this week to just take some time to indulge in some play, have some fun, do some things that make you laugh, do some things that just kind of open up your sense of awe for, you know, the universe. Even when the weather is crappy, it's still kind of cool to notice that, you know, snowflakes are falling on your skin, or that all of these beautiful colored leaves are falling off of the trees, or, you know, even really getting excited about what you're eating in front of you for the meal. So all of these are important. Next week, we have some more action, but take this week where things are feeling a little bit calmer and more chill to get some distance. And of course, don't avoid your Mercury retrograde work, because if you do, then you just have to do it again next time. And, you know, repetition. It's helpful, but it can be exhausting. All right, so if you know of anybody that could make use of this message, please tag them or send it to them. And I always love your comments. And if you have private questions for me, certainly send them to me in a DM. And you can always find out more about what I do. I have so many different versions of ways to work with me. I'm also putting out tons of free content that is actionable and interesting and really meant to teach you guys more about how cool astrology is. All right, and you can find me on nathacampanella.com, and I'll see you next week. Bye.